Palantir stock has been on a huge run recently. In fact, the stock is up 66% since early April. But while some experts are doubling down and major investors are loading up, could Palantir stock today be like investing in Nvidia back in 2020? If you follow the stock, then you know just how much Palantir is growing. But I also have one small warning for investors later in this video, and you can decide if it's time to buy, sell, or hold Palantir stock. But before we get into the video, I just want to say thanks to everyone watching the channel over the past few years. We've just hit 50,000 subscribers this week, which is incredible, and I just want to say thank you to everyone. Now, if you enjoy the content and like my videos, then please drop a comment and let me know your thoughts. I'm not a financial advisor and this is not financial advice, so always do your own due diligence. Now let's get straight into it. So first of all, I want to address something, and this is probably for the newer investors into Palantir, because anyone who has been invested for the past year or two or longer will have seen this many times before, but yet it seems to make the headlines every single time. Alex Karp has once again been selling PLTR stock, and yet again I see this posted everywhere as a sign that the stock has reached its high and will start dropping back down. Although the headline looks bad, I see these posts being made by people with no context whatsoever, and it's being used as just pure FUD. Yes, Alex Karp has sold 50 million of stock. And hey, I have some news for you, he's not the only one. This is Alex Karp's Form 4, which outlines the exact stocks that he has sold. But on the exact same day, Palantir co-founder and president Stephen Cohn dumped about $43 million in shares, while Chief Technology Officer J.M. Sankar sold about 21 million. Then we have Jeffrey Buckley, Ryan Taylor, and David Glazer, who have also dumped millions of dollars worth of stock. But what's very important here is the context of these stock sales. It's not like all these directors woke up one morning and suddenly decided that the stock is going to fall and that it's time to sell. So looking closer at Alex Karp's Form 4, we can see at the top of all these sell transactions, there is a Code C transaction. And this is something that the footers fail to mention. The reporting person acquired rights to 975,000 shares of Class B common stock. On May 20th, he converted 358,000 shares of Class B to Class A common stock and immediately sold the resulting Class A on May 20th. Also converting 39,000 shares of Class B to Class A and immediately sold the resulting shares on May 21st. All sales were automatic sales of shares to cover required tax withholding obligations. The key word here is automatic. Another thing here is that these automatic transactions are like clockwork. Alex Karp and the other directors have been selling shares at set intervals for years. The idea that they are selling because of the high share price and that it's an indication that the stock will fall is just plain stupid. If that was the case, then why is it exactly 1 year ago the same transaction took place on May 22nd when the stock was just $21, or back on May 23rd, 2023 when the stock was only $11? All these sales are scheduled and have nothing to do with the stock price. Now we all know that Palantir has been signing new deals all the time. During Q1 alone, Palantir closed 139 deals of 1 million or more, 31 of which were at least 10 million. And these include deals such as the partnership with Archer Aviation for the next-gen aviation, or the partnership with R1 RCM to advance for the advancement of AI lab design. And all these deals do add up, which is why revenue is increasing so much year over year, for both commercial and government contracts. But deals as much as even $10 million are still very small, considering that Palantir is now valued at over $290 billion. But Palantir has just been awarded a $795 million modification to the US Department of Defense contract for the Maven Smart system. In just under a year, the Pentagon has increased spending on the initial $480 million contract to deploy Palantir's Maven system, bringing the total agreement to a value of nearly $1.3 billion. So we just had some more great Palantir news. Palantir has been selected by Space Systems Command to provide Space C2 data platform solutions. Through the award of a $217 million delivery order under the Data Software Service IDIQ, SSC has selected Palantir USG to provide Space C2 data platform solutions capable of operating in secure environments and providing data products and advanced analytics to the DoD and Joint Force. One more thing I want to mention here is that Nvidia earnings is due after hours on May 28th. There has been a lot of good news from Nvidia recently, but there could be some dark clouds on the horizon. If you would like to see an Nvidia earnings preview analysis, then let me know in the comments. Looking at MarketBeat, we can see that the consensus price target for Palantir stock is just $83. This is according to 23 Wall Street analysts. Wall Street have always tended to be skeptical on Palantir. As we look back to when the stock was trading between $10 and $20, the majority of analysts were rating this stock as a hold. Now the stock is 10 times that, and it's still that the majority of them are still rating it as a hold. Now, the most recent of these was set in the past couple of weeks, but interestingly, all analysts have been increasing their price targets, with Wedbush analyst Dan Eves going as high as $140. Now, we all know that Palantir has been on a massive run over the past few months, even as much as 2 years now. In fact, the stock is up over 1,400% in just 2 years. And a lot of people seem to think that this can't continue, considering that the stock is now valued at over $290 billion and has a price to earnings of over 530. It's easy to see why people are skeptical. These are insanely high numbers. In fact, Palantir at the current price is the most expensive stock in history. Which leads me on to this. Palantir is the most expensive mega cap in history, but should you buy Palantir? So PLTR stock is the most expensive mega cap ever. But Palantir's unique government position, high margins, and AI leadership are key strengths, but competitive risks and margin pressures loom. Despite the risks, I remain bullish and see PLTR stock as a buy, betting on surprise outperformance, similar to early Nvidia. So now guys, this is a long article and I will be skipping most of it. I just want to point out some key points, but I have put a link to this in the description below. Now, you should be able to read this without a Seeking Alpha subscription, but if not, then you can use my link below to get a 7-day free trial. It's well worth checking out. I have put links to this in the description below. Does Palantir deserve this valuation? Well, after recent earnings release, Palantir is showing some encouraging trends. Year-over-year growth was impressive on most segments, commercial revenues grew 70% year-over-year, and government revenues also showed strength. For the full year, Alex Karp expects revenues to grow close to 31% for full year 2025. This will translate into income from operations of about $1.7 billion. The compelling thing about Palantir is that this could be on the cusp of redefining business while also benefiting from a secular growth in defense spending. So looking at the bull case, how high could Palantir go? The bull thesis relies on Palantir maintaining a monopoly-like dominance on AI in terms of enterprise software and even government contracts. The market is certainly there. Defense spending will reach $1 trillion by 2031, and a higher proportion of this is going to go to Palantir. The other big avenue of growth is enterprise software, which will be worth over $500 billion by 2030. We are in the early innings of a big change, according to Alex Karp. AIP will make businesses 50 times more productive. But is Palantir going to be the only company capable of doing this? If the answer is yes, the investment is a no-brainer. Now, while it's unlikely to keep its monopoly and dominance indefinitely, the real question is just how long will this dominance last? We are still much closer to an early Nvidia moment where the market has yet to fully realize the importance of Palantir's product, and for that reason, Palantir remains a buy. But guys, what do you think? Is Palantir still a solid investment for 2025 with the stock near its all-time high and being the most expensive mega cap ever? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below and always do your own due diligence. Remember that I'm not a financial advisor, but if you enjoyed this analysis, then please like and subscribe. I hope you make a load of money on this stock. Follow me on X and I'll catch you.